For more on this, let's bring in National Border Patrol Council Vice President Art Del Cueto. Art, I want to pick up right away where Matt Finn left off. He's been in Jacumba where Bill was, and Bill and I have been tracking these numbers. I was at the White House on Tuesday when the executive order was announced, but the numbers are indicating there's been no impact. It hasn't slowed the illegal crossings between the port of entries. Are they enforcing this executive order? What do you know?
So, look, it is a mess, I can tell you that. And obviously, this administration didn't prepare for how to get it done correctly because day one, there was already groups that were being taken back to the port and sent back to Mexico. But Mexico said, we're not taking them. There's no agreement with us. So, and hence, those individuals had to be taken back to the station, NTA'd, and then released in the U.S. anyway. But what we have been seeing that has been increasing is the unaccompanied juveniles. We've seen juveniles as young as 11, 10 years old crossing into the United States between the ports illegally with their 2 or 3-year-old brothers or sisters. So that's what, the smuggling organizations, you've been doing this for a long time. You know how it works. They're not dumb. They're going to figure out how to adapt all these things, and that's what they've been doing. In other areas, of course, Arizona, like you mentioned, it's so remote from processing areas and from the stations themselves that you have a lot of groups that'll come across and they'll do little encampments. You've seen them. You guys have been out here reporting it. They'll make little camps right along the border on the U.S. side. Those people are technically not apprehended. They're not in custody, so those don't count for the numbers as well either. So, there's a lot of little loopholes and a lot of little things that are actually happening on the ground that people don't realize.
This is a frightening insight, Art, you're giving us. Bill and I this week reported since President Biden took office in January of 2021, there have been 503,000 unaccompanied children that have been encountered. But you're saying that because of the executive order, which raises the threshold for credible fear claiming asylum, essentially, in their words, sort of closing off that option, in exempting the children, it will then be a new magnet for those children to be sent.
Absolutely, and we saw that during the Obama administration when so many unaccompanied juveniles were started crossing into the United States. And the criminals, they know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a while. They'll adapt, and that's where the problem is. And we need to realize that a lot of these individuals, just like we've been seeing so many that are crossed that drop their identification because they don't want to know where they're from, you're going to have a lot of individuals that are right around that age of 20, 21 that'll also be dropping identification, coming across, and then now they will be claiming to be unaccompanied juveniles also.
And what impact does that have on human trafficking?
So it's going to continue to flood certain areas like they've been doing now. They'll continue to flood those areas. Agents will have to continue to respond. They're going to be the transport and everything else. You've seen the frustration where they're all stuck in administrative rows, and you're hearing the sensors. You're hearing everything else in the background. You know what's going on. You know groups continue to cross. And Tucson sector continues to be at the top of the list when it comes to gotaways because of its remoteness. You're going to continue to see those gotaways. You're going to continue to see those numbers rise. You're going to see the number of gotaways rise. You're going to see the number of unaccompanied juveniles rise. And it's all because of this executive order.
Art, obviously, we're 5 months from an election. So when this executive order was announced and in the wake of the polling numbers showing such a strong support for Trump, perhaps no one was surprised. But we did get a surprise admission, I suppose you could call it, from former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, who said this earlier this week. Listen.
And regardless of who's mad about the details of what's in here and what isn't in here, it's a political vulnerability for the president and his campaign. They know that. They knew they would have to do something like an executive order before the election.
What do you make of that? She's saying this is going to be a vulnerability.
Well, it's frustrating because, again, you see that it's just political theater. If you wanted to do an executive order and you really cared about the country, what they would have said is anyone coming across will get detained. And you do it a humanitarian way. I'm not against that. Look, everyone that comes across, you detain them. You release nobody. And then you start looking at the actual asylum claims that they may or may not have. But while you're doing that, the people are in custody. That alone will drop the numbers because right now you're getting people from over 160 countries coming into the United States because they know there's no consequences. All they have to do is say asylum and they get released. The minute you start holding them accountable for that, the numbers will drop.
And Art, just lastly, as we now are all watching, you are inside. You see it firsthand, up close and personal. What will you be looking at to determine whether or not this executive order or any part of it will have any impact in helping?
Well, I mean, obviously, you're going to see the numbers. One thing that people will concentrate, they can turn around and say, look, the number of apprehensions are going down, or the number of encounters, whatever it may be. But you have to look at all the numbers. How many individuals, especially the unaccompanied juveniles, has that number going to start to go up? The gotaways, that number is going to start to go up. So it's not just the encounters. It's not just what you're apprehending. You got to look at every single number in the big picture and make sure that, they're accountable and how they're holding up those numbers as well.
Well, and it seems to me that according to the order, if they are going to turn these people back and remove them, you're talking about mass deportation possibly.
You are, and right now what's happening is the individuals that are from Mexico that are crossing, those, there's been no problem, obviously, sending them back because you're right on the Mexican border. But, this is proven you have to make some kind of arrangement and speak to other authorities from other countries in order for them to take some of these individuals back.
And compounding the problem, we don't have repatriation agreements, not only with the CHNV, Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela, but also the number of special interest aliens coming from places like Kazakhstan, Mauritania, Egypt, Jordan. I mean, these are not easy people to send back.
Griff, it's become a big mess, and again, it's because, they decided to say, hey, we have a problem, we'll do an executive order. It wasn't done correctly. They didn't tell people everything else that was going on. It's smoke and mirrors. It's political theater. They know the elections are coming around the corner, and that's all it comes down to.
Great insight, Art Del Cueto, Vice President for the National Border Patrol Council. Thank you for your time.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.